Hey everybody, it's Wendy. Welcome. Today we are going to do a one-layer scene card using the brand new Birthday Goodness stamp set, which I love. So I'm using my Stamparatus to stamp out both of these piles of yumminess. I mean, I don't eat a lot of sweets because, trying to stay fit and trim, but I can make sweets on paper and look at them. So I stamped these on a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Well, actually, first I'm stamping them on a mask. So this is Simon Says Stamp masking paper. You can purchase it at simonsaysstamp.com. And it is just, all it is paper that's sticky on the back so that you can mask off an area for doing techniques and stuff like that. So you'll see what I'm talking about here as we go along. So after I stamped the mask, then I needed to actually stamp the image on the cardstock. So I placed my images where I wanted them, and then I stamped them with Memento Tuxedo black ink because I'm going to color these with Stampin' blends. So the deal is, this is my very favorite technique to do, making one-layer scene cards and coloring them. I love it. I don't do it very often, and you might wonder why, and honestly, I ask myself quite often why I don't as well. But here is the reason. This is the reason I've come to, or the conclusion I have come to. The reason is that they're very time consuming. They take quite a bit of patience and effort to create, and they're my favorite thing to do because I feel like I get to be the most creative and kind of just make my own design when I'm making them. But I guess I feel like they're intimidating to people. Like, people look at them and watch me create one and say, I could never do that. And that is concerning to me because I don't want to create projects that I guess I struggle with creating projects that intimidate people or make people feel like I could never do that, and projects that are super simple that people are like, that's too easy, anybody could do that, right? So this is just kind of a random feeling I have. I don't know if there's any validity to it whatsoever, but it is a point of frustration for me as far as a creator. Sometimes just struggling with what I should create and how I should create it. So there's a little bit of lag time right here because I'm searching for my Copic multi-liners. So I ended up finding them after I did this video, which I knew I would do. Copic multi-liners are a pigment-based pen that you can use with alcohol markers, and they don't mess up your alcohol marker. I ended up just grabbing a pigment pen that I have by Staedtler, and I don't know that it's alcohol safe, but I wasn't too stressed about it because I was using Stampin' blends, and I figured if it messed one of them up, I could just toss it and order a new one. So I'm using my ruler here, and the whole thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to create as if these two beautiful displays of sweets were sitting on a countertop. I'm not sure I really achieved that. I actually kind of wish that I would have made this line a little less angled because it kind of I don't know. It all in all, in the end, it turns out fine. But I do know that I would change it a little bit if I did it again, if I recreated it. Okay, so then the next piece is cutting out these masks, and I'm not going to video that because it takes a long time to hand cut masks. So I just wanted to show you that they were there and that I'm going to hand cut those out and use them on my card. So I masked off both of the cakes, and I masked off the area that was going to be my countertop, and I'm stamping this little I don't know what you would call this, kind of like, I guess it would be like crepe paper, maybe. You could consider it like crepe paper in the background. I wanted this to be in the background. So when you're masking, the trick to masking is that anything that you want in the forefront has to be stamped first and masked. Then you can do the items in the background. Now those little candles sticking up, I did not worry about masking those off because I'm just going to color right over the top of them. But I wanted to create my background and have it kind of be this very soft, muted background. And the only way to do that was going to be to mask off these items and then color them in afterwards. I wanted to create a 1-layer card, so that's why I did not stamp these, color them, and then hand cut them out. I wanted them all to be together on the surface of the card. So now the coloring begins, and I decided to go with kind of soft muted colors for the entire card. I used Flirty Flamingo to outline all of my macarons or macaroons, depending on if they're with I think that like one is with coconut and one's almond or something. Anyway, I'm using my dark Flirty Flamingo first, and I'm going in all the areas that I would want shaded. So it is kind of hard to see what I'm doing right here because I'm having to obviously put the marker right above where I'm doing it, but you'll see as I continue to go, I'm just doing all my shading first, which is what I'm going to do with all these. So I'm using Flirty Flamingo, light and dark, for my macarons, and I'm going to use So Saffron for my flowers on the macarons. I'm using Highland Heather, Rich Razzleberry, and Pool Party, and then Soft Suede and the bronze marker for my donuts. So now let's have some story time. Let's chat, because you're just going to watch me color basically, and I will jump back and forth giving you tips on my coloring as we go. So what's been up with me? Right now, as I'm voiceovering this video, I have a full Saturday with absolutely no plans and nobody at home, which never happens. So I'm actually voiceovering this video the day before Father's Day. And I'm trying to get work ahead because you all know, as I've shared, I'm going to be traveling abroad soon. And when I do, that's in July, I know that I'm going to need a lot of videos recorded and stuff like that. So I'm working pretty far ahead right now, because I'm going to need to have pretty much all of July recorded and videoed and created before July. So that's a little stressful. And, there's a good chance that I won't make it happen all the way, but I'm going to do my best because I don't want to go an entire 3 weeks without you guys having any videos. That would be horrible. So anyway, I'm doing that today. I got up this morning and so the reason I'm home alone, let's go back to that. So I'm using my dark So Saffron color, which by the way is a new Stampin' Blends color that's been released, is So Saffron. So if you want that, you can get it. I'm using the dark first to create all the shadows that I want, and then I'll go in with my light. So, my husband took my daughter on a camping trip, and they left Thursday morning, and they won't be back till Father's Day. And it's a camping trip that several of his friends go on with their kids, and it's only dads and kids. So I think that's pretty special and fun, and I'm excited to hear all about it. It has been really weird not to hear from them at all because the place that they went has no cell phone coverage. So that's been a little hard, because usually when either one of us travels, either I go away or he goes away with or without our daughter or whatever, we still make contact and we still talk. So not talking has been a little rough. That's a little different. Okay, on these donuts, I'm filling them in completely first with the light marker, which normally I don't do. That's unusual. So this is a little bit different technique, but I'm doing it because I want to create lots of shading on these donuts to make them stand apart from each other. Okay, so anyway, they're gone and I haven't heard from them, and that's a little weird. But the wonderful thing is this morning. First of all, I got all my paper shares finished and sent out. So if you are part of the PJ paper party, watch out, sister, because I'm telling you, you are going to love what you get. And so all of those have been cut, packaged, and are being mailed. And then, let's see, what else is happening? So that all got done Friday. So today's Saturday. So I got to spend Friday evening with my mom. We went and had dinner together, which was really nice. And then I just spent the evening relaxing. I didn't do a whole lot. Today, I have spent the day doing laundry, getting caught up with that kind of stuff, cleaning the house. But the best thing is this morning I got up and I did my nails and I painted my toes, which I haven't done in, I can't even tell you how long, because I'm not a big one for doing the toenails. I don't know why. I just am lazy about it. So I did get that done. Actually, I'm lying. I totally know why, because I can't see. I'm blind as a bat. So for me to paint my toenails is like a major thing because I can't see them. So anyway, I did that, and then I have just been petering around, working a little bit here and there. I took my dog for a walk, and it's just been lovely to have some downtime and quiet time where I don't feel responsible for anybody. I don't feel stressed or like I need to hurry and do anything for anybody. And it's just been a really, really, really relaxing weekend. So yeah, so that's it. That's what I've been up to. Now, all of that being said, let's talk a little bit about this PJ paper party. First of all, I've never had this many people sign up for a paper share with me. Holy Moses. I had 136 people sign up and my goal was 100. So I totally blew that out of the water with all of you that signed up with me, and I can't thank you enough. I mean, my heart is just bursting with gratefulness and thankfulness for signing up to be part of this event. The event is going to be held today, actually, when you're watching this video. Even though I'm recording the video way before the PJ party is going to happen, we are going to be in our PJs and we're going to hang out and we are going to make cards. And so for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I did a paper share, but I really made it different in that I decided that I wanted to do the paper share with card kits. So pretty much every pack of paper has a card kit, and I'm really excited. So if that sounds like something you'd like to do, please make sure that you sign up. Okay, we're going to jump to the card really quick. I am using a dark, rich raspberry here to shade that top of that donut even darker. So the great thing about the blends is there's a light and a dark. So if you just want to use the lights and the darks, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to take them a step further, just grab another tone that's a little bit darker and you can take them a step further and really get some cool stuff out of them. In fact, next week, I'm going to be sharing a video on how to blend different colors together. So I hope you tune in for that. Okay, so back to the chat here. This is crumb cake, by the way. Crumb cake that I'm using for the countertop. So the PJ party, if you want to make sure that you're part of the next one that I do, which will be for the holiday catalog, make sure you sign up to get my emails. There is a link in the description below this video, and I will be doing signups for that. And since we did such a great job on this one, I'm totally confident that I actually had to cut off the signups for this PJ party that we had because I was getting so many that I was starting to get scared I wouldn't be capable of producing them. And so now that I know what I'm capable of, I feel super confident in being able to take probably even more signups. I mean, definitely with the holiday catalog, it'll be easier because there's not as many different cardstocks or designer papers. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what that holds. And then the other thing I have that's happening in the fall will be my fall retreat. So again, make sure you're just on my email list because I tend to email that stuff out. and stuff like that. I do have this happen a lot where people sign up to get my emails and then they unsubscribe because they're mad that I quote advertise to them or am trying to sell something to them. Hello, people. That's what I do. Just a little PSA there, little public service announcement. I do tons of free. I love it when somebody says to me, like, you don't ever provide any free content. Really? Really? Wow. So, I have thousands of over 1,000 YouTube videos. I provide tons of free content, and my email is absolutely a means to get people to sign up for my classes and the stuff that I have to offer, because that's how I make a living. It's always shocking to me how people are so offended, and that's the end of the coloring, FYI. Oh, lies. The lies I tell. I'm going back in and adding a few details. But that's pretty much the card. Isn't it cute? And then we're going to add a sentiment and finish it off. I have to say I'm super proud of the coloring on this. And I added Wink of Stella also to the donuts and stuff and the flowers. So anyway, if you don't want to get an email from me that says, hey, I have a paper share coming up, or hey, I have a class coming up, do you want to purchase it? Do you want to be part of it? Then please don't sign up for my emails. Occasionally I send little free goodies out in my email, or, just updates on like, hey, did you catch this blog post? Have you seen this video? FYI, went over the top of those markers right there with a little bit of gray just to create a shadow. Kind of grounds them to the countertop. And then I'm going to add the happy birthday sentiment, which I love. And I just love the font. And I'm going to use Whisper White cardstock. And what color ink did I choose? I think Gorgeous Grape. So anyway, there's that. And you can sign up for that stuff in the description below the video, like my email and all that kind of stuff. There's also a link to this blog post. If you want to see the supplies that I use, they're listed there also. If you want to purchase any of the supplies from me, I always greatly appreciate that. Every single time I get an order from somebody, I feel like it's a personal thank you of like, thank you for making card videos for us and showing us how to use these awesome, fun Stampin' Up! Tools. So that's kind of always how I look at orders, like they're little thank yous and sometimes big thank yous. And I just appreciate your business. So I wanted to say that as well. Okay, so I'm doing my Wink of Stella, and that's the card, people. I added it to the front of a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it's all finished. I hope you love it. I love it. It's one of my favorites. If you want to see other videos from me, click on either one that you see here. Click on the circle with my face in it to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Shop with me at shoploveandstampin.com and visit my blog at loveandstampin.com to check out all the fun stuff that I have there and all the free content. Talk to you soon. Bye.